champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. That's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself.
Swindle around and fight Jake Paul for this money. If you think I'm going to sit back by the wayside and sit there and be like, well, even though I'm contracted to fight this guy for this amount of money on this certain day, I'm just gonna sit here and be cool with, oh, he might not ever fight me, and he's gonna go fight and get paid and get this money, and I'm not supposed to get anything.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has finally revealed why he chose to fight Jake Paul instead of going for a rematch with Lamont Roach. However, things have started to escalate now that Roach is reportedly considering legal action against Davis for breaching their contract. Speaking in a recent interview, Davis said that even if he fought Roach again, fans would still criticize him. So he decided to do what's best for him: secure the money.
Nah, Tank is a money fighter. Who's the bigger money fight for Tank? I don't think that's Shakur.
Who else would you think? Jake Paul?
Yeah, for sure, but I'm not even talking about fake boxing. Like, for sure, he gonna do that if that's...
Ahead of his fight with Jake Paul, Tank seems somewhat disconnected from the sport itself. According to him, that feeling began right after his draw with Roach. "You know, I don't want to say too much," he said. "I'm just doing what's best for me, what feels right for me. I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. So this is the first training camp where I've been able to enjoy myself and just be me." Even before the planned Roach rematch, Davis admitted that he didn't want to get too deeply invested.
I don't want to put a lot out there, but it's just, you know, doing what's best for me and what's right for me. And I've been doing this for a little minute now. You know, I've been doing it since...
That response didn't sit well with many fans. To some, it sounded evasive, like a man avoiding a subject he's already closed the door on. Lamont Roach didn't hold back either. He mocked Davis online by posting a meme of Lisa Simpson crying with red eyes and the caption, "Every time he's got to explain why he's fighting Jake." It was sharp, funny, and cutting. Classic boxing rivalry banner.
It's boxing. Pound for pound talent. And me, on the other hand, coming up from 130 to 135 to fight this monster. That's gonna make me a 2-division world champ. That's gonna make me a 2-time world champ. And that's gonna put me in.
Still, the humor couldn't hide Roach's frustration. He's clearly bitter that the rematch everyone expected vanished the moment Davis agreed to fight Jake Paul. When the news first broke weeks earlier, Roach fired off another jab online. "Told you all duck, duck," followed by 4 duck emojis for emphasis.
Like, just handle the business right. That's all. Just handle the business right. Don't think you're gonna do bad business with me and think it's just gonna be okay. No, we're gonna call you out every single time. Don't duck a fight with me and fight a YouTuber that's 200 pounds and think it's okay. It's not okay. I don't care what, unless you took the proper.
Tank's decision to skip the Roach rematch for Jake Paul has also taken a business turn. Lamont Roach recently addressed whether he plans to pursue legal action over what many saw as a breach of their agreement. Speaking on Inside the Ring, Roach revealed he wouldn't be taking Davis to arbitration, despite having the option. "I never said this publicly, but no, we're not going to arbitration," Roach said. "I'm very well taken care of." He didn't elaborate on what taken care of meant, but his tone suggested someone had already made things right financially.
To go to arbitration, then what? Then you got to pay lawyer fees, or you put your promotional company in a hole where they have to back you because technically it's on them. They're the ones who putting on the fight. That's who I have the contract. That's who draws up the agreement, the contracts, or whatever the case may be. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy for you to do business-wise.
Roach later publicly thanked Al Heyman, PBC, and Davis's team for stepping in. "I just want to say thank you to Al Heyman, PBC, and everyone who made things right on his behalf," he said. "Even though he messed up, they made it right for me." That statement essentially confirmed that PBC reached a private settlement with Roach, compensation in exchange for keeping the dispute out of court. for a fighter who had pushed hard for the rematch. It was a quiet, business-like way to end things. It also revealed how boxing politics really work behind the scenes. When a star like Davis pivots to a money fight, the machine around him ensures all loose ends are tied up.
It don't look like that's gonna happen. For everybody that keep asking me, everybody be on every single boxing page, boxing source, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth, it might not happen, or most likely not gonna happen for sure. But I think he dodging that. Dodging God's plan. You know what to do, Reach. If you want to fight or you don't. Simple. That's it.
For Davis, this situation is personal in a different way. He's admitted that his motivation is fading. Having fought since childhood, built his record, and made headlines, he's now prioritizing financial security over legacy. From his perspective, he's earned that right. The fight with Jake Paul gives him a chance to cash in, stay healthy, and walk away on his own terms. But his choice has also sparked a larger conversation about where boxing stands when its stars start chasing paydays instead of legacy-defining challenges.
Him and Tank Davis weren't friends. Him and Tank Davis weren't cool. They didn't really know each other like that. They were just cordial. This is a different cry from what he said about Tank Davis leading up to his first fight with Tank Davis. And I believe it is because he realized how out of pocket he has been. He realized that, well, let me make it seem like it's not as out of pocket to shit on him after he gave me an opportunity.
Among current fighters, few have spoken about that tension as honestly as Shakur Stevenson. Stevenson said he understands why Tank made the move, though he wouldn't have done it himself. According to him, Davis nearly lost to Lamont Rematch, and if he had taken a rematch and lost, his market value would have dropped. By fighting Jake Paul first, however, Davis ensures a much bigger payday while his stock is still high.
You blame a man for taking that opportunity because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and
then there's Terrence Crawford, who didn't hold back. Crawford said Jake Paul's size makes this a dangerous matchup for Davis. Jake's way too big for Tank, he said. Coming from one of boxing's most respected tacticians, that warning carries weight. Crawford wasn't mocking the fight or questioning Davis's courage. He was pointing out the physics. Paul's larger frame, natural weight, and reach could turn the bout from a spectacle into a real risk. In Crawford's eyes, this isn't an easy fight at all. It's a strange gamble, less about proving skill and more about surviving a mismatch. Still, not everyone in the boxing world is criticizing Davis's decision.
What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank.
Raleigh Romero defended Davis, saying people need to stop acting like fighters shouldn't get paid. You can't blame Tank. He's got a family to feed, Romero said. It's a simple argument, but one that resonates with anyone who's watched boxers retire broke after brutal careers. As Romero put it, nobody else takes the punches, so nobody else should judge how a fighter secures his final bag.
you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't.
Davis's team shares that view. His longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, framed the Jake Paul fight as a business decision, not a betrayal of the sport. Ford said the camp negotiated everything carefully, glove size, weight, all of it, to ensure Tank's safety and leverage. To them, it's no different from any other professional making a smart financial decision before retirement. This is a business decision, Ford said, a phrase that's been echoed repeatedly by Team Davis. It's not about Roach anymore. It's about maximizing a limited window before stepping away.
Concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s.
Meanwhile, Roach has hinted that the story isn't over. He's frustrated enough to consider legal options if any agreements for a rematch were ignored. For now, it's all talk and no action, but his tone makes it clear he feels sidelined by boxing's money politics. What bothers him most isn't just losing the rematch, it's how quickly it disappeared once a bigger check came along. To him, it's a professional slight that undermines the principles fighters are supposed to believe in: merit, ranking, and fairness.